Hello guys and welcome to a new video. Today I will be talking about Nobody 2. Alright, so whenever the first Nobody released in movie theaters, I was an extremely big fan of that movie. I thought it was genius. I loved the characters. I loved Christopher Lloyd's character, and I wanted a spin-off of him just because he was as awesome as he was in that first movie. But I also had a little bit of a story skepticism on that one. I thought the story was a little bit on the lower side. It was a less interesting part, and the action was the biggest part, and I loved that the most, but it took a while to get to that action because of the story being told. Right now we have a movie, a sequel that is actually a fair bit shorter. It's only 89 minutes in length. It's 2 minutes shorter than the first one, but you know, shorter is shorter, and I feel like we should always applaud a movie with a runtime like this. I mean, come on. This is what you want. You just want to go to the movie theater, have a little bit of your day occupied by this extravaganza. You want to feel fun with this extravaganza, and then you want to go home, talk about it, and have other people go watch the movie, and you can actually recommend the movie to other people because it will not take up any time. So that's awesome. I am extremely hyped for the Naked Gun remake or reboot or re-sequel because of that same exact reason, being fairly fucking short, and I love the movie for that. With With a shorter runtime also comes a little bit of a fair thing you have to forget in your movie. And with an action-packed movie like this, you have to make the choice, what is the most important thing for your movie? Is it the action, what people are coming for, or is it the story tying it all together? And what they chose for this movie is the best choice they could have possibly made. They chose for the action. The action was the thing that gripped the first movie the most, and the action being this big and extreme was what that movie made so special. So for the sequel, you of course have to dial up on that. And the action sequences in this movie are even more crazy, are even more bombastic, and are even better than they were in the first movie. The set pieces and set locations for these fights are awesome. The story, on the other hand, is very shallow, but in a way that it doesn't even matter. They rehash a lot from the first movie. They kind of do the same story beats all over again for the setup of this movie, which was interesting enough, but okay, but they could have done something better for that. But the story is extremely shallow. It doesn't need to be very big. It doesn't need to be very grand or something difficult. No, you just need to have a little bit of a problem, a little bit of a bad guy, and just some people to shoot and fuck up, and that's exactly what this movie delivered. So yes, it isn't extremely big on having a great story, but it also doesn't need to be. What the story is, oh my god, the story that they told was good enough, was nice enough. The story that they had was perfectly acceptable for a movie like this. We just have this man having a problem, and he just wants to get out of the problem, so they go on vacation, but on vacation things seem to be pretty fucked up as well. That's all the setup you need. Now you just need a little bit for the bad guy. They did a lot of that actually as well, so that was very great. I thought in the first movie that the bad guy was overrated as fuck, and that the bad guy was something we have seen too many times before. In this one, it's kind of the same thing, but even more annoying. The Eldina character, I could not give a shit about her. The cops were interesting enough, were good enough, in my opinion. They were just pawns to be slaughtered with. That's okay, but the Eldina character, I didn't really care for her. I didn't really have anything for her. She didn't have the biggest of a role, so she could have been skipped out completely, and I think it would have made the movie even more fun, even skipping down 4 more minutes of this, making it the perfect 85-minute movie, you know? So, yeah, I still have some criticisms on it. The story was better in that it was more unaware, or even lesser in the movie for that reason. And the story that they had was good enough, but still they tried to have a little bit too much characters that needed a little bit too much introduction and just not being that interesting overall. But you know, we just have this guy Hutch Mansell fucking these guys up, and that was what we came for, and that was the greatest part of the movie. So I think mission accomplished nonetheless. I still want that sequel for the grandfather, for Christopher Lloyd, because it was still awesome as hell, and I still would love to see a spin-off just mainly around him. Just have some gang break into the home for the elderly and just have this guy save everyone by fucking everyone in the home for the elderly up, by having him use all the means necessary in the home for the elderly. I think that will become one of the greatest action movies in the fucking world. Alright, what did you think of this one? I'm going to give this one 4 stars and a heart, because I did think it was pretty damn fucking good, even though the story wasn't doing it all that much for me. Alright, what did you think of this one? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.